Hi Stampers, it's Madeline from Madelyn-The, and today we're going to be using one of my favorite sets, the Paisleys and Posies stamp set that continued from the 2016 holiday catalog. So it is in your occasions catalog and it will be carrying over into the next catalog, so that was very exciting for me. The paper for this did retire, so you're unable to get that, but I'm hoping in the new catalog that they will come up with a new paper for it. But if you stocked up on it, you can still use it. I still have a few packs of them because I just loved them so much I had to get them. Today we're going to be making this card that I found on Pinterest. So it isn't my original idea, but I just had to share it with all of you. I am obsessed with it. I love it. So this card looks very detailed and complicated, but it is very simple, and I love simple cards because I wanted to come up with something that was quick and easy that I could give to my hostesses or my fellow demonstrators, or just for someone, a friend or family member that I want to thank. I think these this Paisley and Posies set is just a great purchase. So if you are interested in buying this set after you see this card, check me out on my website. It's stampwithmadelyn.stampinup.net, or you can find me on Facebook, just Stampin' with Madelyn, and my shop link is right on there. All right, let's get started with this. Okay, what you are going to need is you just need a regular card base. So this is going to be 8.5 by 5.5, and you're just going to fold it in half. Okay, once you're done with that, we're just going to put this aside. We won't need it right now. You are going to need, as you can see in this card, you are going to need 3 pieces of Sweet Sugar Plum from the In Colors of 2016 and 2018. So we still have those colors for one more year. So Sweet Sugar Plum is back here, and then Whisper White is on top of it. So the first pieces that you will need, I already have cut. This will cover your whole entire front of your card. So you need to have it 4.25 by 5.5. We don't want any white showing around it. You're going to have then a second piece of Whisper White that is going to go over this, and that is going to be 5.25 by 4 inches. Okay, so that's the first layer. Now we're going to cut together the second and third layers. So I am trying to use up my scraps, so I am having little pieces of Sweet Sugar Plum here, but they come either 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11. Our second layer of Sweet Sugar Plum is going to be 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. So I am going to show you quickly how to measure this as easy as possible. Okay, so 4 5/8. So this is how I learned to measure this. Okay, so 4 5/8. So you're going to go to the 4 here. The little tiny lines are 1/16. So there is 16 lines in this from 4 to 5. And then you're going to see lines that are a little bit bigger than the little tiny ones, okay? So there are 16 little lines in this whole thing. You count every single line in there. And then the second up is 8. So you would go, every other line is the eighths. So there's 8 every others, and there's 16 all together. So to get to 5/8, you're going to go skip 1, so that's 1/8, skip another, that's 2/8, skip another, that's 3/8, skip another, that's 4/8, skip another, that is 5/8. Okay, so 4 5/8, and you're going to cut it. Then you need it to be 3 3/8. So let's start at 3. Okay, so you're going to skip 1, that's 1/8. Skip another, that's 2/8. Skip another, that is 3/8. So right there on that little taller line. There we go. So that is our Sweet Sugar Plum layer. So this will go on top of this Whisper White, and now we're going to do another Whisper White layer. Okay, so the second Whisper White layer is going to be 4 1/4 by 3. And again, I'm just trying to use my scraps here. There we go. So this goes on top of this, just like that. See, it's coming together. All right, our last layer. We're going to have Sweet Sugar Plum, and this is going to be 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So 2 1/8, we're at the 2, skip 1 line, there's your 1/8. The other way is going to be 3 1/4. Okay, so that's going to go on top of your whisper white. Now we're going to do the last layer. So this is going to be 2 by 3 inches. There we go. There is your masterpiece. Okay, so that is all 3 layers all together on here. And if you want to change any of my dimensions, please feel free. I changed some from the ones that I found when I was finding it on Pinterest, just because it was easier for me to measure this way. All right, now we're going to get to work. So what you want to do is you want to put the sweet sugar plums away. So just set them aside. You won't need them right now. All we want is we want all of these together, and you want to line them up as evenly as possible. Now, this is totally up to you, but I don't use any adhesive to hold them down because I can line them back up again once you start doing a few stamps. I don't want to use adhesive because I feel like it's going to rip them apart, but it's totally up to you. You can do that if you want. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to do the sentiment. Let me put this out just so you can see it as we work. I'm going to do the sentiment first because I don't want to cover it up during our work. So I'm doing the sentiment in basic black. Now these are the photopolymer stamp set, so you need a piercing pad. So that is a block of foam that makes it so you get a clear, crisp image, and you will not get that nice image without this piercing pad. We do sell it. It's on my website and it's only $5, so it's definitely worth it to get. And here it is, just a thing of foam like the wood block has. This is just adding that component in for you. Okay, so we're using the Archival Basic Black. Okay, we're going to stamp, stamp, stamp on this. Really want to get it nice and inked. We're just going to place it in the center here. Push down for 3 seconds. There we go. When you're stamping, you want to hold onto your papers. At least have your hands on all 3 of them because you want them not to move. Okay, so we're done with the basic black. Okay, now we just go to work with the colors. Today I am using the 2016 and 2018 in colors. I did add Delightful Dijon from the 2015 and 2017 colors, which we will be losing in May. So if you are interested in those, I definitely recommend to get the pads and the refills because you won't be able to get them after our new catalog comes out on May. Our new catalog will come out on June 1st. Okay. This is the order I do the stamps in, so you can follow along with me or you can choose your own layout, but this is the way I did it. So I started with the biggest and worked down to the smallest. So I'm doing this one twice. I'm doing it in both corners. And it's okay, you will see white spaces in between your stamping. Don't worry about that. We are going to take care of that. Okay, just doing that twice. Okay, now we're going to move on. I'm going to do this one next. And this is going to be in Dapper Denim. Okay, and as messed up as it might look, when you put the whole card together, I promise it'll look fantastic. Now we're using Peekaboo Peach. on this round stamp. Next, this is the color I took from our in colors from this year, Delightful Dijon. I'm using this really pretty flower stamp. This is one of my favorites in there. And it is going to move, so don't worry about that. Just reposition. There is going to be little white spaces in between your stamped images, so don't worry about that. That means that you have it lined up correctly. All right, only 2 more left. Next is going to be Flirty Flamingo with this really nice pointed, it looks like the sun to me. Now you just want to be covering up the white spaces that you see that don't really have much in them. Last one is going to be our green leaf. So this is in the Emerald Envy, and I have the bigger leaf here. You want to be careful not to get ink all over your block where the stamp isn't, because then you'll get that excess ink onto your card. So this I'm just turning at different angles and really putting it all over the card because I think that this ties it together. But again, this is your masterpiece, so you can do anything that you want. There we go. Okay. So we are all done with stamping, and now all we have to do is put together this card. Like I said, it is a very quick card. You just have to be patient with it. So let me show you something. The ink does get around on your piercing pad, so you could put a scrap piece of paper down, or you could just take a baby wipe, and it all comes right off. You want to make sure that you do clean it though, if you do get excess ink on around the edges, because that will go on to your next card. As you can see, I can get it right off, which means that it goes right onto your next card. All right, so now we're going to get our pieces of sweet sugar plum that we cut earlier, and we're going to attach all of these to them. So like, look, I love this. Look at how that looks. Like you could do that as a card front even and do something nice in here because of how nice and crisp the edges look. There's lots of possibilities with this. So I'm just adhesiving this down, this Whisper White piece of the biggest one, onto the sweet sugar plum, and you're just going to center it on here as best as you can. Press it down. There we go. Now you want your second piece of sweet sugar plum. And this is a little different than this card. See how there's more white showing around the edges here and less sweet sugar plum? That is totally your call. It is up to you. You could make these a lot smaller. It is totally your masterpiece, like I've been saying. So whatever you think works for your card is what you want to do. So once the Whisper White is down onto the sweet sugar plum, then you're adhesiving the sweet sugar plum down to the bigger piece. Now this is where you want to line it up with your other stamps. See how they're all coming together? Okay, and lastly is this one. So you want to take your smallest piece, center it on the sweet sugar plum, and then put this sweet sugar plum down on your second to biggest piece. And this is where you really want to line it up good. And look at that. I just love it. It is so beautiful. And really didn't take us much time, which is the biggest plus. So now we're going to put our card front onto our base that we made before. You just want to center it because it is going to cover your entire front of your card. There we are. There is our finished thank you card with the Paisley and Posies stamp set. So again, this is on my website. It is a carryover from the holiday catalog, so you are able to get it still and will be able to. My website is stampinwithmadelyn.stampinup.net. You can find me on Facebook, Stampin' with Madelyn, and my Shop Now link is right on there, so that's probably the easiest way to get there. Please follow my Facebook page. You can get all of my events I'll be having coming up. Find me on Pinterest. It is Miss Madelyn, all one word. You can find it at pinterest.com/MadelynAnita. I will have it below in the description. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos every week, swap videos, tutorials. For now, keep stamping, stampers. Bye.